Merry Christmas!
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
This is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude!
And as I used to say, I take luncheon vouchers. Good evening, one and all. How the devil are we? Well, though it's gone. We've come out the other end, maybe a little bit knackered and a little bit, fed up with football, but proper football is back.
The Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
Oh, the Premier League is back. Can I just say, by the way, if you sort of see me slowly start to sink as the show goes on, then my chair is broken. I know, I've always said I am the guy that's ate all the pies, and finally my chair has said, get off. And so I do start to slowly sink as the show goes on. So please don't worry if you suddenly see me going down, if you know what I mean. Hey, it's been like weeks since we've done one of these. For those of you, well, let's get our guest in and then we can sort of hide from the scores. Forgot what he looked like, this guy. But, of course, always makes a comeback around Christmas time. What else would you expect from the Son of God? Let's welcome in Brad. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, mate. Well, I'm okay.
Brad, isn't it? That is Brad.
It is. I'm in my Jesus form for this time of year, though, so don't spoil the fun for everybody else.
No. He's not everybody. He's not real.
I know. Feeling a little bit under the weather, getting a traditional Christmas cold. It's the first gift I've got this year. But apart from that, I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing well.
Good. Like I say, I had almost forgotten what you look like. I can't forget what this guy looked like because, to be honest with you, I was only with him the other night. Not in the biblical sense, I hasten to add. It is the chairman of the West Midlands branch of the Gareth Southgate fan club. Bring him in. Steve, hello, sir. How are you?
Fine, thanks, mate.
And you're not, is that's not what, I've forgotten the name of it already. Fox 7?
Foxy 7 clothing.
Foxy 7. Where is it, sir? I thought you'd be having it. Or have you just come in from work?
Just got in from work, mate.
Well, we will be bringing you details as they progress, but Steve has got a new range of clothing out, hats and hoodies, etc. Foxy 7, and we will be promoting that on this show. So stay tuned, and we will give you. We'll keep you updated. I just hope you go up to sort of fat bastard size, Steve.
I do, mate. I do.
Yeah, and I'm not referring to Southgate either. Nate is in. Hello, Nate. How the devil are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hard to believe Leicester is back tomorrow. I know. Well, it's not really proper football. What did you ever think of the League Cup, Steve?
I used to love every cup competition, mate. I think every game that you play in, is a bonus. And every game that you're playing, you want to win. And I always love the cup games.
Yeah, indeed. Do you think that the Carabao Cup has kind of lost its sparkle now with all the European Cups and everything?
I think the English teams always say that and think that till they get to the latter stages.
Yes.
And I think if they're still in it at the latter stage, then all of a sudden it becomes an important cup again for them. But I think, I think there's too many European games now. There's too many European Cups, too many European Champions League, whatever they are, and all that. And I think you're taking a lot away from the fans in England, Great Britain, Scotland, Wales, everywhere. I think you're doing them a disfavour because people love the cup games. People like the dogs against the big boys. And to me, growing up through that, I'll always feel the same.
I mean, Brad, do you remember sort of the O'Neill years when we were the Man City of the day, weren't we? 4 years, 3 finals, 2 wins. And back then, you could argue that the big boys didn't take it seriously. But once they realised there was a place in Europe up for grabs, suddenly they started looking at it again.
Yeah, I mean, the League Cup's been through many unique changes. I mean, you just mentioned there when we used to make finals for fun. Like the first rounds used to be over 2 legs, right the way through. It used to, I think it was two legs, 2-legged ties.
I always thought that was difficult for footballers to play with just 1 leg.
Yeah, I think it was a bit unfair, but it made for interesting games. But no, I think it's a cup competition that, like you say, unfortunately, has kind of had its nose turned up by the bigger clubs when it really shouldn't. I mean, Brendan Rodgers took it seriously, at least in his first season in charge, didn't he? We got to semi-final. Yeah. I'd like for us to beat MK Dons and try and win it this season. I don't understand that mentality. I mean, maybe when you win 37 trophies in a year, like Man City fans are used to, it's not that easy. But I'd like to win it this year. Yeah. I'd like to continue the silverware. Why not?
It's a cup, isn't it? At the end of the day, whether it be the Milk, the Worthington, the Colesberg, the fizzy.
I don't think that's helped. I don't think that's helped either. It's never had a stable name over the last few years, has it? Either it went through Carling for a bit, and I thought that might stick, but God.
And I think as well, Steve, it's. I mean, nobody had heard of Caribou, which I guess is why they've sponsored it, because they want to get the name across. But, nobody seems to be taking it seriously. The big guns aren't interested TV-wise unless it's a Man United-Liverpool clash. The draw takes place just online and you're waiting half an hour from the stated start time. In a lot of ways, I think it is looked upon as a little bit of a joke.
To be honest, Matt, I think football's losing its identity. The TV are taking over too much. I think that the FA they've sold the soul, and they let the TV companies dictate to when it's played, how it's advertised, and stuff like that. And I think until we get football back, we're going to be in the same boat that we are at the moment.
Indeed. Well, it is back. We're not going to be predicting tomorrow night's scores. We're going to stick with the Premier League, which is back at the weekend. Now, just talking about predictions, Brad, I know you're not a fan of the World Cup, but you did do a prediction show with me before it started. I'm just wondering which team you picked to win it.
Well, before I tell you who I picked to win it, I'm just going to say for the low price of $1.99 or a subscription to this channel, I will predict any team you do not like to win things so they purposely get relegated or knocked out the cups. Because I skillfully, after North Macedonia fiasco, predicted Belgium to win it.
How did that go for you, mate?
It was all, you know, we had this about North Macedonia. I need to explain my logic. Secretly, I wanted our Leicester boys back training quicker than usual, so they didn't get injured. So that's why I picked Belgium, you see. It's all up there for thinking.
Yes, indeed. Mind you, I can't say much more because I went for Brazil originally. So, but
at least they got out of the group, mate.
Well, that's true. I wasn't going to mention that, but there we go. But next season, hey, next time you might have Belgium and North Macedonia in it. But who knows? Who knows? I can finally get rid of my World Cup predictions. Put those in the bin. We've got Shane's in. Good evening, Shane. Craig is in. Hi, Craig. David. Big Ant's in. How you doing, sir? I hope you're ready for the silly quiz on Wednesday. And Terry is back as well. Good evening, sir. Welcome along. Now, I don't know if you all remember where I feel like we should have one of those, you know, TV shows where they do a what happened last time, because it was a while ago. Sorry?
So I was going to say like a season finale. We're having a previously.
Yes, that was the one previously on Leicester Till I Die, the prediction show. Brad was actually winning despite his history of picking Belgium and North Macedonia. And as you can see there, Brad is on 81. I am kind of catching you up there, Brad, on 79. Steve is coming in a very manfully third. But in fairness to Steve, he's not always his own votes, are they, Steve?
No, I think whoever's ever stepped in for me has got more than I got.
And that might be because they don't go for the anti-Tottenham and Arsenal route.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
You know, you always predict against a team that's only lost once this season and are sat at the top of the league 4 points clear. But hey, got to love you. Right, Monday, which is of course bank holiday. Boxing Day Monday?
Yeah,
it is 26th, isn't it? Yeah, it's Boxing Day on Monday. And I have put a poll in the chat. He wasn't happy, but I put him in anyway. I said, you got kicked out of the World Cup early, so you can come and do this. Do you want me to do a watch along, everybody, on the Boxing Day? I'm not really bothered because if it's not, I'm going to go. I'm with the ex-wife. But if you want me to stay and do a watch along, I wouldn't actually mind. But let me know which way it is if you want me to do that or not. Right, Steve, here we go. Monday, we start with, let me just bring those up. There we go. We start with Brentford versus one of your favourites. We might as well get in there early. Tottenham Hotspur. Brentford, let's just have a look at this for you. Brentford have not been doing very well. They beat Man City. I say not done very well. They beat Man City. They got a point against Nottingham Forest. Well done, guys. They drew with Wolves. They got beaten 4-0 by Villa, although I think that was the new manager bounce. And they drew 0-0 with Chelsea. So it could go for Brentford a bit of a... You don't know which Brentford's going to turn up, do you?
To be honest, I think you're going to get a lot of excuses coming from the World Cup saying the players are tired and not in the right mind because they miss penalties and, things like that. So hopefully Brentford are going to look at that, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Brentford.
Oh, decisive 2-0 win for Brentford there. Doug, Brad, I mean, we look at Spurs. They've not done so well. They beat Leeds 4-3, but I mean that they made hard work of that. They lost to Liverpool. They only just managed to beat Bournemouth 3-2. They lost to Newcastle, but they lost to Man United as well. Like Steve said, they've got Harry Kane coming back. Will he be using that as an excuse? Will he even be in the squad? Because those players that are in the World Cup in the latter stages may well be given more time off.
Yeah, I mean that'll play a factor throughout. It's almost like the opening day of the season again, isn't it? Because you could look at the form that these teams had prior to the World Cup, but they've either had so long off or so long away with their countries that it's just like they've done their own pre-season internationally. Tottenham don't normally. Kane, I don't. They don't have a striker option, so I think Kane's got no choice to play whether his legs are falling off or not.
He might do better if they are.
No, sorry, I'm going to say it tongue in cheek. I'm going to say it. As long as he doesn't have a penalty, then he'll be all right.
It had to be said. It had to be said, mate. Well done.
I'm gonna. Although, sorry, Steve. I know it's Christmas here. Normally, I'd be charitable, but I'm not going to be that charitable. I'm going to go 2-1 Tottenham.
Oh, right. Immediately is nastiness in the chat. Oh, right. So 2-1. Did you say to Tottenham?
Yes.
The sort of week I'm having, guys, keep an eye on the scores because I could be typing anything. Let me just go and make that central. I'm surprised at how bad Tottenham were pre-World Cup, to be honest with you. I thought Conte coming in, I honestly thought they'd be up there with Arsenal, but they've been very, very hit and miss. There's been games played while the World Cup's been on, but we can't really see even Leicester played. Troyes, was it, or somebody? And I couldn't even be bothered to sort of tune in and watch that because, like I say, half the team weren't playing anyway. And I'm just wondering, what players are going to be back. But I've got to agree with Steve, on this one. And I think that I think Brentford could cause a surprise. You've got Ivan Toney, the guy who didn't go to the World Cup, versus Harry Kane, who did go to the World Cup and miss a penalty. Amazon must be rubbing their hands that they've got, because, of course, all the games are on Amazon. They must be really rubbing their hands at the thought of this one. And you can just see, that Harry Kane's probably there's going to be a penalty to Tottenham. He'll take it. It couldn't be written better if he was to miss it and then Ivan Toney went up and got the winner. But I'm going to go 2-1 to Brentford on that one. I think Steve has got a good idea of what is going on. Like Doug said here, good evening, Doug. How are you, mate? Long time no speak to. I hope you are well. Are you missing me yet? I did send you a tweet, but I just wondered if you're missing me yet. But it is a good point. 2-1 to Brentford, says Terry. Doug's gone 2-1 Brentford as well. And I think David Burton, good evening, David, has gone 1-1. But Shane has gone 2-1 to Brentford. So I think you seem to be out on your own there, Brad.
No, I'm flying the poor ship Tottenham. It's got full of bottles and 2 horses, or 3 horses in the race.
Okay, so we are looking then at Brentford, Steve. Crystal Palace, hosting Fulham, a London derby. Palace have also been very up and down this season. Fulham, probably, in fact, they have been doing the best of the promoted teams, haven't they? And, Fulham are sat there in 9th at the moment, which surprised me. And Palace are in 11th. Which way do you see this one going?
For Fulham, I think the World Cup came too early, and I think it's going to put a bit of dent in them because they were playing well. They had got a bit of momentum, but I think with the World Cup coming, it might have knocked off stride a bit. Palace again. You don't know which Palace side is going to turn up, but they're usually okay at home. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw on this one.
You're going to go for a 1-1 draw. Brad?
I think I'm kind of in agreement with Steve in a sense that, and we'll say this for a few teams probably, that the World Cup kind of came at the wrong time for how they were doing.
Yeah.
Fulham will want to get on the right track again. They want to kick this restart of the season off to a good start. Like you said, they're having the best start out of the 3 promoted teams. And I'm with you about Crystal Palace. Very, very indifferent. Very Crystal Palace, I guess. They're living up to their name for how they've been for the last 4 or 5 seasons. And I think Fulham are going to win this. I'm going 2-0 Fulham.
You are going 2-0 Fulham. Okay. You're going for 2 aways. Yeah, I mean, look at Palace. I mean, and it's difficult to say, is form going to play a part in this? But it's the only thing you can really go on, isn't it, really? Because, like I say, you don't know who's going to be fit, who's come back, who's been given a bit longer off. It's ridiculous that we're coming back from a World Cup and starting again so soon, but it is what it is. Yeah, Palace lost to Forest. Bastards. But they beat West Ham. They managed to beat Southampton, but they lost to Everton. So but they beat Wolves totally up, arse over tip with these results. Fulham put up a good fight, but did lose to Man United. They lost to City, but again put up a really good fight. Only got a draw with Everton. Beat Leeds 3-2. I think Leeds were a bit naive there, and they beat Villa 3-0. So I've got to say, if it was at Fulham, I think it would be more. I think I could go for a Fulham win. I'm actually going to go. I'm going to sit on the fence on this one. I'm going to get the old splinters up the backside. Do I think it'll be a Desmond? I'm going to go 1-1 on this one. So the first draw of the. Oh no, I'm agreeing with you, Steve.
Mm.
God, let me change my mind. You know I jest. So Mel is in. Good evening, Mel. Hope you are well. I hope your dad did as well. Richarlison is out. I doubt it because there's a couple of big draws in the Carabao Cup. It'll probably be on Quest at about 1:10 in the morning as highlights or something. But who knows? Who knows if there were a couple of streams anywhere? Let's just go for everybody saying hello to everybody else. Doug has gone 2-1 to Palace. Shane's gone for a Desmond. He's gone 2-2. Anthony's gone 1-0 to Palace. Terry says, I hope Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 1, help Leicester. We need all the help we can get, Terry. Mitrovic will be scoring if playing 2-0 to Fulham, says David. Well, everybody more of a Palace. They're all going against you, Brad. Have you upset a load of people here or what?
I must have. I must have. Or maybe some are wary of the fact that I predicted Belgium to win the cup, so I don't think I can predict it. So we'll see.
That is a fair point. In fairness to them, so we are looking at the next game, which won't. Oh, I'm getting annoyed with my Premier League website here. Just bear with me. Fixture. Right. So the next one is Everton at home to Wolves, Steve. Let's have a look how that is looking. I mean, Everton, they've always, they seem to be the perennial strugglers of late, don't they? And who is it? They let somebody's agreed to leave, or they've come to an agreement for somebody to leave?
Oh, that was a centre forward, Rondon. Rondon, was it?
Rondon, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's any loss, though. So, but what do you think? What do you think, though? Wolves have played 2 or 3 friendlies against foreign opposition while the World Cup's on. Nobody that you can, really think it's a good team. And they've been high-scoring games where it's been 3-3, 4-3, things like that. So Wolves are still letting a few goals in. Everton, I think they're due a game. I think they're due a win. Don't think it's be a high-scoring one, so I'm going to go for Everton 1-0.
Everton 1-0. Brad, it's at Everton, and as you know, when we spoke to our Everton loving pundit who likes to drink, Mr. Elton Wellesby, he says they always play better at home, and it is a fantastic atmosphere. Wolves, I mean, we know Wolves struggling, but they have got their new manager. But Wolves are sat bottom of the table, haven't won in 5, and Everton are only sat in 17th. Is this a last on match of the day game?
Yeah, simply put, yeah. Everton are woeful this season. That has a lot to do with their manager having a brain the size of a pea when it comes to tactical attitude. Wolves are just awful. Wolves have just been shocking this season, and they'd have to do a Leicester, ironically, wouldn't they? Bottom at Christmas, we're the last team that broke that curse. And I just can't see it. I know Steve said they scored in pre-season, in essentially pre-season games because it's a restart of the season. Yeah. This has got ball draw, snooze fest, 0-0. This game could make you unsubscribe to Amazon Prime. It'll be that
bad. But then you'd have to pay for your delivery.
I think it'd be less painful paying for a delivery than watching that game. I've just got this feeling.
Well, funnily enough, I am agreeing 100% with you. I am going 0-0 as well. I think it's going to be. None of us are expecting a goal fest, which probably means it's going to end up 5-3.
Yeah.
Steve's gone for the win for Everton by a single goal. You and me end at last match on match of the day, 0-0. Anthony's gone 2-1 to Everton. He's hoping to see goals. Wolves do have the new manager, but I think, is that going to work when there's been such a long break? I don't know. Doug's gone 1-0 to Wolves. Shane's gone 1-1. Geordie's in. Good evening, Geordie. Good evening, lads. Leicester versus Newcastle. Interesting. Odin Mag NFUC tomorrow night, hopefully. I'm on somebody's this week. I'm not sure. Is it that one? I can't just say. I'm not sure. Somebody will tell me. Everton Wolves. Terry's gone 0-0. He agrees with us, and Geordie has gone 0-1 to Wolves. Now then, Stephen. Leicester City.
Yep.
Talking about clubs that the World Cup came at the wrong time for, I would have given anything for the World Cup to have been cancelled because we were turning it round. We had jumped up to, where are we? The dizzy heights of 13th. And we've only lost 1 in 5, and that was to Manchester City by the single goal. Fed that it was a fairly good goal that they got. So yeah, I think the World Cup came at the wrong time for us. But Newcastle flying high, they've only lost 1 all season, and they haven't lost 1 in 5. They've beaten Everton 1-0, Tottenham away 2-1, Newcastle 4. Well, Aston Villa they beat 4-0. They beat Southampton 4-1. And they beat Chelsea 1-0. Should we just sort of buy some planks and nail them to the goal and board it up?
I think this one, like you say, with Leicester, it was the wrong time. I think it was the wrong time for Newcastle as well, because Newcastle, the in-4 team. The only thing Leicester's got to do if Newcastle do carry on with their run is they've got to match it man for man, because Newcastle... Every player across the pitch in every position has upped his game, and they're playing 100% better than they were as a team. So I think Leicester really now have got to match that on the pitch. If they can do that, I think Leicester will come out winning. So hopefully it's dented Newcastle's run because they've got to start all over again. But Leicester have to match the work rate of Newcastle. But I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester.
Oof. That's us lost then if we apply your normal logic, isn't it? Pack up now and let's go. Don't bother turning up, lads. Newcastle, just stay up there. 3 points are yours. It's a good point that, though, Brad. As bad as it was for us, it was also bad for Newcastle.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the only annoying thing about the whole proceeds is one of our players flew all the way to Qatar to go and sit on the fucking bench for, 5 games when he could have been training at Leicester ground. It's almost annoying that he got picked to not play, but that's an argument for another day. At least he's back with his squad training his matters. And I don't know, I've just got this feeling that given Newcastle's team and how well they're doing, I just see a shock here, because I think if this had been off the back of our runs, both clubs, I think we'd have been in for a ding-dong of a game. I think it'd have been probably like a 2-1 to either side. It'd have been very hard to predict. I've just got a feeling we're going to, pardon the pun for the weather and the time of the game, I think we're going to catch Newcastle cold on this restart. And I'm going one more than Steve. I'm going 3-0 Leicester.
3-0?
Yeah. The brick wall is returned with FaZe and Amati. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, in fairness, FaZe didn't get much game time himself. In fact, he got no game time, I think, didn't he? He got none at all. Maddison will come back fit. No disrespect, Geordie, but a lot of Newcastle fans creaming themselves because they think they're going to get Maddison in January. Some reports that we're going to offer them to Newcastle. If we do, let's hope they decide to pay up front and not do a buy now, pay later deal. It's written again. It's written in the stars, I think, for Maddison to come back because of all these links at the in the paper. For him to come back and get a goal. And Marty didn't have the best of World Cups, and that worries me a little bit. Look at what happened with Soyuncu. A couple of goals were down to him, but then he hadn't got somebody like FaZe next to him. In fairness, and Ward, I don't know how he'll come back because he's the one that let all the goals in for Wales. But then again, he's not behind the Welsh defence anymore. I am worried about this one, and I think it's for the first time where I've not felt confident playing against Newcastle because they are normally so awful. But obviously, it looks like they're going to hold on to their manager now because. Sorry, Steve, but Southgate is stopping until 2024. So they've got another couple of years with Eddie Howe before he moves on to be England manager. I'm going to agree with Doug that's gone in the chat, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Leicester. I've got to stick with my own team, but I think I can see us conceding. I really can. I would be worried if this was at Newcastle, to be honest with you. I mean, Steve, coming back, we've got Newcastle and Liverpool. Is it good that we are being thrown back in with, top of the table teams, or would you have preferred to have come back and played like a Wolves and a Palace?
No, I think it's best to come back and play the teams up the top and the teams in form. Liverpool, especially, they're not the given force that they were over the last couple of seasons, where you'd bank 3 points nearly every game they played. So it's going to be interesting. But the tough games like your Wolves and people, in mid-table or whatever, you don't want to play them because it's there's I wouldn't say motivation, but it's hard because they play completely different.
Yes. Terry has gone Leicester 3, Toonami 1. Now, Geordie, unfortunately, he obviously pressed send too quickly because he's missed the Leicester out at the start of that sentence. And he just put 2-0 Newcastle. And we know that he meant to type Leicester 2, Newcastle 0. But Geordie, don't worry, mate. I've got you back. I know what you mean. Shane has gone Leicester 1, Newcastle 2. David says, I've got tickets for the Leicester game. Me and the grandkids. A nice day out and hopefully a good game too. Enjoy it, David. Enjoy it. Hope you get the 3 points that we all want. And it's a good day for you and the grandkids. Doug's gone, like I say, 2-1 to Leicester. Geordie says, lads was fixtures a butcher's dog, which is fine as long as that butcher's dog isn't a chihuahua. David He's gone for a Desmond 2-2. St. Maxim Dow. You're all going to be too embarrassed next week. Oh, okay. I'll clip that. I will clip that, and I'm sure there's not many people, Newcastle fans on Newcastle chats predicting Leicester win. So, yeah, there we go. Right, Steve. Not again. I will be looking forward to watching. Southampton, Brighton, and Hove Albion. How do you see this one?
I've got to go for Southampton because of the turmoil they're in and the way they've been playing. I think it's got to change at some point. I think the break might have done them good to try and get themselves back to organisation. Brighton always play well and they're solid, but I'm going to go for a nice 2-1 win Southampton.
2-1 to Southampton. Are they still managerless, do you know, Brad?
I think so. I'm not sure. I honestly couldn't tell you. Not like any news suddenly came out of a big name that you heard at Southampton. But, West Ham fans claim that they won the World Cup in '66 when England won it. They forget that Leicester saved the World Cup from being lost because the goalkeeper, but we don't bring that up.
No.
But Brighton are the World Cup champions, aren't they? The Scottish Simon McAllister. Brighton have a World Cup winner in their midst. Whether he'll play or not is probably unlikely. Playing in the final and whatnot, he probably won't. I can't imagine he'll get back in time and want to and be ready to be picked to play, sort of thing. He'll want or be given rest time. But Brighton have been good this season, regardless of the break. I'm going 3-1 Brighton.
We're going 3-1 Brighton. Of course, Brighton, Southampton have got the Luton manager as their new gaffer. Nathan Jones.
Weren't he a wicketkeeper for England?
I know very little about cricket. I know as much about cricket as you know about predictions in international football, Brad.
I'm glad I asked the question then.
I don't know. I think Brighton. I mean, is he the right man for Southampton?
It's just a nobody name, isn't it? That's very underwhelming.
Yes, for a Premier League team. But then, I suppose Steve, you could say that it's good that some of these managers are being given the chance. We argue when they're not.
I think it's nice to see letting different people into it. I think we've got into the realms of any manager now that gets the sack goes straight into another job, which I don't think he should do. So it's nice to get some of the other managers in.
You do, unless you're called Pochettino, of course.
Yeah. But no, I think it's refreshing, and I think hopefully you might see Southampton play completely different to the last manager and surprise us. You never know.
I think they will have the new manager bounce, but he's not. The problem he has is obviously he's not been able to get his new ideas to any players that have been away at the World Cup. Brighton, they are still doing reasonably well. Brighton are sat where are they? In 7th, won 2 of the last 5. I've got to go. I don't think the bounce is going to come at this game for Southampton because of the break for the World Cup. I'm going to go the same as you, Steve, but the other way around. 1-2. I think it's going to start nicely for Southampton, but then end badly, and Brighton will come away with the 3 points. Shane's gone 1-0 Brighton. Dave's going to brutal start for Southampton. This won't be Saints. All right. Wow. For Doug, Terry's gone the Saints 0, the others 1. Doomed, I tell you, doomed. And it's funny, Anthony's gone quiet when we're talking about Southampton, because, of course, they are his other team. I hope you asked him some questions on Southampton, Brad.
Oh, no. He tried to get me to ask some questions. I said pick one team, Anthony, and he gave me a list of 62 of them because they all played in red.
He's gone, I think. Is he back? Are you back? You went then.
Oh, did I? Bloody signal. Yeah.
Coming and going.
Yeah.
Oh,
hello?
Yeah. Hello? You're coming and going?
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh.
Let's just move on. Forget the question. Anthony didn't get any Southampton questions. God, my signal's awful.
It is. Oh, for God's sake. In the, sorry, Doug, not been so mighty of recent time, Liverpool. Villa, obviously, Mr. Gerrard. England job, God help us. But after last 2 under the new manager. Good evening, sir, if you are watching. But Liverpool they've also won 3, but they've lost 2. They lost to Nottingham Forest. Sorry, Doug. Doug. Are they going to win this one against Villa, or is Mr. Emery going to weave his magic?
I think this one's got a draw written all over it. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
You are going for 2-2. Right, let me put that in there. Are you back with us, Brad?
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to sort some issues out on my phone. Hopefully,
yeah, that's fine. Well, you carry on without that if you know it's easier for you without the camera.
Yeah. I mean, over the past few seasons, you'd have said this was a walkover for Liverpool. I mean, they had that 7-2 game when, fans weren't allowed in the stadium. But minus that, you'd normally have this down as a cruise regardless. But, and I know we've kind of dismissed previous form because of the World Cup break, but Liverpool have had a crap season by their standards. Draws and losses, dropping points. And I'm agreeing with Steve because Villa have done this smart thing and got rid of Gerrard for an actual manager and not done an Everton stuck by their man. I actually think I'm agreeing with Steve. I'm giving my first Desmond as well. Can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm agreeing with Steve. I'm going 2-2.
Yeah, you're coming in and going, mate. What we'll do is say, come out, go out, and come back in, and then we'll try and get back to you, and you can catch up when you're back in. He went for a draw, but I don't think did he say what scoreline?
2-2.
He went for 2-2 as well. I've got to agree. Well, I'm agreeing with you both, but I don't know if it will be a 2-2. No, do you know what? I'm actually going to go for a Villa win here. I think Villa are going to surprise Liverpool. Or do I? Oh, decisions. You should never let me make decisions. I'm going to go 1-1. Oh, my. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. Liverpool. What are we going to do? To Aston Villa, because it's at Villa. And what have we got people in the chat here going? Mike Singh, good evening, Mike. How are you? And if you get that, Doug, because if you get that, that'll be the only 3 points you're getting over the Christmas New Year period. Has gone 3-2 to Villa, to Liverpool. Sorry, five goals there. Geordie's gone 1-1. Mike's gone Villa 1, Scousers 2. Terry said if Forest can beat Liverpool, so will Villa 2. I don't think Emery will work. This will be close. 3-2 Liverpool. What you did there. Right. Don't need to ask. West Ham are struggling. I was speaking to little Jake earlier, West Ham unofficial, and he is not confident going into this. Are you confident that Arsenal are going to maybe come off the rails a little bit?
No, purely like I've been doing for the last few weeks. I want to keep the league interesting. West Ham are struggling. I think the break's going to do Arsenal no problems at all, and I think they're going to cruise to a 2-0 win.
Are you?
I don't know.
Brad?
I think West Ham are probably one of the few sides that were happy for the break because they were struggling with league in Europe. I unlike Steve, I'm going to continue the meltdown of Arsenal. I hope that Arsenal fans can go back to their Christmassy mood of Arteta out. I think this will be a bit of a lacklustre game, and I see West Ham pinching something here. I'm going 1-1.
Right. Well, okay. 1-1. Jesus is injured though, isn't he? He's out for quite a while.
Yeah, the World Cup.
That said, I think Arsenal will want to carry on where they left off. Despite what a lot of Arsenal fans say, I do think that Arteta has proven himself to be a good manager. I think, and I know Anthony doesn't agree with me, although he's an Arsenal fan, and certainly my future son-in-law, my brother's girlfriend, certainly doesn't think that they will stay up there, but I do. I think Arsenal have got a very good chance of winning it, and so I'm going to go. I mean, Declan Rice has obviously had a great World Cup, in fairness to him, but you can't rely on just one player all the time. Maddison. I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal on that one, which is what Steve went with. So again, I should really change my mind, but no, I think they will. Now, this next one's interesting, Steve, because Chelsea haven't been in the best of forms. Let's be honest with you. They are sat in 8th now, so they've dropped right down. They haven't won in 5. They drew 0-0 with Brentford, 1-1 with United. Then they lost to Brighton, the 4-1. They lost to Arsenal 1-0, and they lost to Newcastle 1-0. So Chelsea are really on a bad run of form. Bournemouth, that said, we're also on a bad run of form. They lost 1-0 to Southampton, 2-0 to West Ham, 2-3 to Tottenham, 4-3 to Leeds, but they did win the last game against Everton at 3-0. Now given, obviously, the caretaker job to the gentleman full time, and they've got new owners.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth are going to stay on the run they're on. I think they have got some goals in them. Chelsea, I think Chelsea is struggling badly. I don't think he could get his tactics over to the big names at the moment, and I think that's his problem. And I can't see it happening in any short time. So I think he's going to be struggling. I think so. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win, Bournemouth.
1-0 to Bournemouth. I'm just putting. I do apologise, guys. I don't think I read out your predictions for the last game, so I'm just highlighting them up there. So you're going 1-0 to Bournemouth. Are we going to see another quick managerial sacking at Chelsea, Brad?
I mean, if we do, you're going to get a rich version of Watford, aren't you? Because he'll keep sacking managers if that's the case, that don't start off too well. I really, really want to agree with Steve on this, but I just can't bring myself to say it. I think Chelsea are going to sneak this one 2-1.
2-1 to Chelsea. If this was at Bournemouth, I can see Bournemouth coming away with all 3 points because the crowd are going to be behind them. Like I say, the deal's been done. They've got new owners, American, surprise, surprise. But Chelsea on such bad form. But it is at Chelsea. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I don't think there'll be enough for a Desmond there. I'm going to go Chelsea 1, Bournemouth 1. Mike has gone Chelsea 3, Cherries 1. Dan, you're a cheeky little sod. you ought to have a timeout. How dare you, sir? He says Grinch, so he's saying that it's my new. You're almost funny. You're almost funny. I would say don't give up the day job, but like me, you haven't got one. He's gone Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 1 as Geordie. Shane's gone Chelsea 1, Bournemouth 2. Doug's gone 2-0 to Bournemouth. Terry has said Bournemouth 1 or draw. He's agreed with me. Nate has gone 2-0 to Chelsea. David has gone 2-1 to Bournemouth. Chelsea are so beatable. Everybody's saying hello to everybody else. Manchester United, Steve, they are going to be Ronaldo-less. Up against some second team in Nottingham after Notts County. I don't know what you know, but which way? And be very, very careful because I haven't forgotten that you did predict a win for Forest not so long ago.
I know, yeah. I know they need the points and that, but I think with Ronaldo going, I think you're going to see a completely different Man United now. I think that's been the main problem. All depending on what shape the players come back from the World Cup. Forest are going to be running around, but Forest still haven't found out their best team yet. I can't see them scoring many away, so I'm going to go for a 3-0 Man United win.
3-0 Man United. Brad.
You know what? I given the Ronaldo situation, I almost feel sorry for Nottingham Forest because that means for 90 minutes they're going to have Piers Morgan cheering them on. Because he obviously was But I don't feel sorry for them. So luckily for Man United fans tuning in, you know what? I made a vengeful mistake by actually thinking they were good enough to get a point in one game, and I felt sick ever since I predicted it. So I'm going to go big here. I'm going to go Man United 5-0.
5-0. Wow. I think Ronaldo going. Wasn't it sad to see him going off the tunnel crying? I don't know who's had more tears recently, Ronaldo, Suarez, or Megan. They all pretty much can turn it on at will. I've been sort of hijacking onto Dan's predictions and saying going every game 7-0, and I'd love to go 7-0 to Manchester United, but I think it will. I think I think you're both right that having lost Ronaldo, like with Portugal, I think they can now move on. It's Arteta took a while, but he got rid of the players he wanted to go. I couldn't work out Ten Hag whether he wanted to keep him, whether he wanted to go. The interview was the last straw. And I don't think there's many Man United fans that are actually sad that he's going. And I'm glad he's gone. I think it is going to work in Man United's favour. The only thing with Forest is they haven't had a lot of new players, and they've just had 4 weeks when those players that haven't gone away have actually been able to sort of get together and get to know each other. Now they did have quite. I think it was it 4, 5, or 6 players that they had in the Welsh side, but they weren't gone for very long, so they came back quite quickly, so they could assimilate as well. But I can't give anything for Forest. I'm sorry, I just can't. I'm going to go between the pair of you. I'm going to go 4-0. And if it is 4-0, you'll both be really pissed off, won't you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if anybody has got any. Luke's not in, so we know there's going to be nobody going for Forest, I don't think. Mike went 4-0 to Man United. He agrees with me. Man United 2-0. Nottingham Forest 0, says Shane. Geordie says 2-0 to Man United. Man United 3, Nottingham Forest 1, says Doug. Man United will have to find a good result once they're beaten comfortably by Burnley on. Well, of course, they are playing Burnley in the Fizzy Drink Cup on Wednesday. I can't remember. I think it's at Burnley as well. So good luck down with that one, mate. Hope you win it. Man United 3, Nottingham Forest 1, says Doug. So does Nate. David's gone for the same, but without Forest scoring, so he's gone 3-0 United. Absolute Massacre, says Terry, 5-1. Here we go. Here we go. What did Santa do when he went speed dating? He pulled a cracker.
I thought he was going to say he pulled some ho-ho-hos. So just as bad.
That is just as bad. And I'm sorry, you're going to be the first one to get the new one of these, Doug.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Sorry, that you deserved that for that joke. And Mike has gone. Oh, he's actually jumped ahead. He's actually quoted for the next game. So glad Steve went for an Arsenal win, says Anthony. I know. I don't think this is the real Steve. You know, I think we're watching an episode of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Bless you, sir.
Just want to keep the league interesting.
He's been taken over by Piers Morgan. That's what it is. Inside there is, on the outside it's Steve Lynex. On the inside it's Piers Morgan.
It's just his Christmas spirit coming through. That's what it is. He's feeling charitable.
Leeds United, Manchester City.
Yeah, I want the Leeds United of the 70s to turn up. I want somebody to get into Man City's faces. You found over the last few weeks that the teams that do that and take the game to Man City, there's more result likely for them. If they sit back and let Man City have the possession and do what they do, they will be in trouble and lose heavily. So I'm hoping Leeds can get into Man City. The crowd's going to work a lot, I think, in their favour. Let's get the special feeling for Christmas over. So I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw on this one.
So 1-1.
Yeah.
For 1-1. Leeds were on a fair run, weren't they? We went from talking about Jesse Marsch being sacked to being the best manager in the Premier League in the space of a couple of games. Can he carry it on? I mean, man, I can't believe we're actually looking at this. And I know disrespect to Arsenal because I've said I think that they win the league. And like Steve, I hope they do, just so we've got a different winner. They're already 5 points behind Manchester City. They're not winning the games that they should be. They're drawing them. But Leeds, he says he's just trying to find him. They've been up and down this season. They've only won 2 of their last 5, but one of those was against Liverpool, and the other one was a 4-3 against Southampton. Can Manchester City take anything away from Ellen Road?
Yeah, their heart, their soul, and their reputation and their self-respect. I mean,
you're for Leeds win then, are you?
Look, I'll save people the tangent of my thoughts on, Marsch, and I'll just cut this short. It's been 4 weeks or more since Haaland scored a goal. They'll be melting down in Man City, so he's going to come back and score about 5. It's going to be Man City. How many do I want to give him? I'll give him a 7. 7-0.
Wow, you've seriously gone for the 7. I was none of my predictions were serious before, but you've gone 7. There we go.
7-0, mate.
Wow. I'm shocked. Can I just say that? I can only say this.
Are you serious?
You're sticking with 7, are you?
Yeah, I am. Just no offense to Leeds fans in the chat. It's just your manager. He's a tool. 7-0.
Oh, there's no Christmas spirit, is there? No Christmas
No,
spirit.
I am very much like your shirt represents, mate.
Right. I think it will be a Manchester City win. I don't think it's going to be 7, though. I'm going to go 3. 3-0 to Manchester City. And that is all the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday games. And we'll just see what everybody has been predicting for. Well, we know that Mikey went for Leeds 2, Manchester City 5. So he sees 7 goals, but not all the one way. Mike Davis says Santa's dog name is, and he sent later, he said Santa Paws. Tell you what, Mike, if you were a turkey, you deserve a bloody good stuffing for that joke. You really do. Geordie has gone Leeds 1, Man City 4. David says Chris Grinch 4 out of 5 letters in your name. I feel like, everybody ever watched Senegal in the World Cup and they had there was however many letters are in the Senegalese name, all in a row with body paint on, spelling out Senegal. And I would have just loved it for one game, for one of them just to stand in a different position and just see if anybody noticed or not. That was my dream when it didn't happen. Leeds 1, Manchester City 3. Manchester City 2-0 says Nate, as indeed does Douglas. Terry has gone Leeds 2, De Bruyne poor form 1. About Haaland. David's got to go. David's going for a Burton. Thank you.
Oh. I would,
reaction from Brad there.
I would say I've missed these jokes, but I'd be lying. And it's Christmas. You can't lie around Christmas.
Well, I tell you what, I've got to give myself one of these then, haven't I, really? Thank you. I don't know why Peter Kay's coming back. I really don't. But there we go. That is the end of the so-called Boxing Day game. So some of them are on Tuesday and Wednesday, all available on Amazon Prime. And we'll have a very, very quick look at the weekend's games because we're all going to be out over between Christmas and New Year, so we won't be doing a show. And we will be doing that straight after we've done this.
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy holidays, I guess.
Just sticking with the Grinch theme there. It did give me a chance to pull my chair up because I know I had been falling down. I hate it when there's 2 games in a week because it's always hard to sort of predict that far in advance. And it's even worse because the first game we've been predicting from 5 weeks ago. Here we go. Where does a sheep go to get a haircut? The barber shop. What do you call a group of men waiting for a haircut? The barbecue. Lend me that hat, Steve. I want to pull it over my face and pretend I'm not here. Onto the naughty step, Steve. Onto the Doug. Sorry, onto the naughty step. Go and sit there. Oh, God knows what it's going to be like on Wednesday when we have drink and Christmas cheer and everything. Right. These aren't going to be easy to predict through them. West Ham United, Brentford, Steve.
Yep. West Ham are going to be in a bad mood because they're going to lose over Christmas. So Brentford's going to be on high because they're going to get a result. So I could see this going 2-1 Brentford.
2-1 Brentford. Doug.
Doug, come on, Doug, speak up.
Sorry. Well, them jokes, you see, they're just stuck in my mind.
I know. He rots the brain. I get it with his joke. They rot the brain. I get it. 2-0 Brentford.
2-0 Brentford. Right, let me just get this into position. I've said that a few times in my life. There we go. 2-0 to Brentford.
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to be going.
See ya.
I'm going to go 2-3 to Brentford, and possibly we could be saying goodbye to David Moyes.
Hey, maybe he'll go back Everton when they see sense. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Liverpool, Leicester, Steve.
All depending on the Newcastle game. If Leicester get a good result there, hopefully they will. Like I say, Liverpool now, they're not a given like they used to be. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Going for a 1-1 draw. Last time we went to Anfield, Brad, this time last year almost, we came away with 3 points and a man of the match performance from Hamza Chowdhury for him never to be seen again.
Oh God, did we beat them at Anfield?
I believe we did. I'm sure Doug will tell us whether we did or not, but I'm pretty sure we did.
Because I know we beat them at our place, didn't we? Maybe we did. It's been that long ago.
Did we not beat them at Anfield?
No, Adamone and Luton scored last year. Salah hit the penalty, didn't he? Hit the bar. Or Schmeichel saved it and they hit it on the bar, and then Luton went and scored second half. Maybe we did. I don't know. I can't remember the Anfield result. I cannot remember it.
Apparently, no, we didn't. Was that the Carabao Cup game we lost at Liverpool? Then we beat them at Leicester, possibly.
Yes, yeah, because we lost on penalties in the Carabao Cup game. And I know we definitely beat them at the King Power, but sadly, Doug is probably right telling us we lost in the league to them. But I'm going to break the trend then. I'm going to correct history for you, Chris. Leicester City will win this game by 3-1.
I'm tempted to go. I was messing about with it before, and I am going to go 7-0 to Leicester. But
just with bad jokes, I'd go 7-0 Leicester.
2-3 for me. I think it's going to be another 2-3. Lots of goals. Wolves, Manchester United, Steve.
Yep, Man United are going to be on a high after winning over Christmas, but Wolves need the points. They seem to play better against some of the better teams. So I'm going to give Wolves 3 points on this one. They're going to win 2-1.
Oh, okay. Brad, got your name right this time.
I'm sorry, but I think Wolves will be praying and hoping they're able to do some business in January and bail them out, because otherwise they'll be in the Championship next season. It's not looking well for them at the moment. I think it's going to continue. 3-0 Manchester United. No, 3-1. I'll give Wolves a goal. 3-1.
I'm glad you did that, because that means that I can go 0-3, which was what I was going to do.
Yeah. So if they win 3-0 now, I'm blaming my dad for being a Wolves fan.
Yeah, that I would laugh if they won 3-0 now. You had it in the grasp of your hands. Just to say, everybody, if you like Steve's hat, that's the one that he's going to be bringing out, Foxy 7 brand. Yeah.
Foxy 7.
Foxy 7. What did I say?
That's it, yeah. Foxy 7.
No, you said it right.
Foxy 7 brand. We will, as I said earlier, keep you updated with how and when you can get them. Talking to Steve, Bournemouth hosting Crystal Palace.
Yep. Like you say, new owners. First home game, is it over the Christmas period? I think so. Yeah, 2-0 Bournemouth.
2-0 Bournemouth. Brad?
I mean, there'll be players that want to put on a show, first home game. I don't think they're going to go mental in the transfer window, and it's still not going to be easy to get players in at Bournemouth, despite the money. But I'm going to give them a 1-0 win. Bournemouth 1-0.
Oh, you had to, didn't you? Because that's what I was going. 1-0 to Bournemouth. Fulham Southampton.
Fulham at home, playing well, scoring goals. 3-1.
3-1.
To Fulham.
Do you want me to go first this time, Brad?
Yeah, I tell you what, mix it up. Why not? Because I'm already set in stone with my prediction.
I'm going to go 1-0 to Fulham.
I'm going to go for one of them weird, entertaining 0-0s.
0-0s. Not like we got in the World Cup then. So
No.
that's 5 of the games done. So let's just catch up with the chat. So Shane went 1-1 between West Ham and Brentford. Doug went 2-1 to Brentford. Nate went 3-1. He went 1-1 as well, sorry. Geordie 2-1 to the Hammers. Mike went 3-2 to the Irons. Liverpool to apparently Irons. It was Irons 3, washing machine 0. Apparently, I think what he was thinking. Liverpool 2, Leicester 1. Said Shane. Disappointed in you, Shane. Disappointed. Geordie, Liverpool 3, Leicester 1. Geordie, see again. See, I'm not disappointed with you. I'm really pissed off. No, I'm not. I'm joking. Mike's gone Scousers 2, Leicester 2. Nate has gone Liverpool 1-0. Thanks, Nate. I'm not feeling the love here, are you guys? Doug has gone Liverpool 2, Leicester 1. And he was just correcting me regarding the cup game. I thought I'd got me games mixed up. Hang on a second. Anfield. That'd be good. Then we've gone to Wolves 1, Man United 2. Geordie's gone Wolves 2-0. Doug's gone Wolves 1, Man United 2. Mike's gone Wolves 1, Man United 3. Terry has also gone for the same. Shane's gone Bournemouth 2, Palace 0. Wow, Doug went 1-1, 2-1 to Fulham. And Mike is off. He's knackered out, basically. All the best, Mike. Take care, buddy. Get some rest. Shane's gone 2-1 to Fulham over Southampton. And I know you are, Shane. I know you are. That's why I was winding you up. Okay, Manchester City, Everton. I'll go first with this one because I'm going to put it on a 4-0 to Manchester City. Steve?
I'm going to surprise you here. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
Say that again.
I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. I think Everton are going to part the boys.
Is that...
Are you serious?
Everton are going to part the boys and Man City are going to struggle.
Oof.
Chris, I think his hat's a size too small. I think he's on his head too tight.
I was about to say, normally, I mean, you'd expect the ex-player to be running away with this, wouldn't you? But,
yeah, you think the ones that are the experts that play in the game and watching it over the years would know a bit more about it. But, well, last year we laughed at him for saying that Watford would win against Man United, and now that turned out against us. So we'll save it for the John McEnroe to come and bite us in the arse, Chris. But I'm joining you, but I'm going to go one more so we can be a bit different. I'm going to go 5-0.
You're going to go 5-0.
Man City.
5-0 Man City. Newcastle, Leeds United. I'm going to go 3-1 Newcastle. Steve?
Yeah, Newcastle at home. They're going to get the gears going again. So I'm going to say 3-0 Newcastle.
3-0. And Brad?
It's Leeds United. They're shit.
You're quite right. Nothing gets past you, does it?
I know, right? Sherlock O'Brien knows it all. I'm going to be kind to them because I've just said 7-0. So I'm going to say that Newcastle will pissed off at losing to Leicester, so they'll score 5 past Leeds. 5-0 Newcastle.
5-0. You've gone for a pair of fives. Nothing, you get nothing for a pair in this game. Brighton and Hove Albion versus Arsenal. Steve.
1 each. That's all I can say. That's all I'm going to say. 1 each.
1 each. Short and sweet. Brad.
Desmond.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Look, 22, 2-2.
You can have 22 all if you want. I'll take it.
Yeah, that would be a good game. It still wouldn't be first on match of the day because it's Brighton. I'm going to split this totally. You two have gone for a draw. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win. I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal.
Boo! We all wanted the 3-3, Chris. We wanted you to keep the pattern going.
Oh, come on. Anthony's paying me. What can I say? He is the Qatar of the Prediction League. That's all I can say. Spurs Villa, Steve.
Even shorter, 2-0 Villa.
Okay, fair enough. And Brad.
3-1 Villa.
Ooh. I think this is the game that, because they do win one, lose one, Tottenham. They do seem to be in that sort of vein. I am going to go 2-0 to... no, I'm not. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs. I'm really annoying you, aren't I, Brad?
Someone's got to.
Yeah. Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Steve.
Sorry for this one, Chrissy, but I'm going to go 2-0 Forest.
Get him off the show.
You think I'm promoting your bloody word? It's word now. You got another thing coming.
Well, I've just got this feeling, man. I've just got this feeling. 2-0 Forest.
You need to get it seen to, I'll tell you. I can't type that. I'm sorry, Steve. I cannot type that. My fingers are sticking. Oh, God. 2-0 Forest. Bloody hell. Come on, Southgate. That's all I'll say to you, Steve.
No.
Brad.
If it was probably any other team, literally any other team,
Oh,
or maybe
don't
not.
you do it. Don't you do it
He's
as
going to
well.
go. He's going to go.
No, don't you worry. If it was any other team, and then if you, as I said, maybe Leeds are the other team, I'd probably go for a draw here. But because it's Nottingham Forest, 2-0 Chelsea.
Yes, good man. Brings a bit of sense and sensibility back to the show. I used to like that player, Brad. I don't know about him now. I don't like.
I was going to say the word sense and me don't go well in a sentence.
No, this is very true. This is very true. Right. Yeah, I've got to go. I've got to go with you, Brad. I'm gonna do what you did. I'm gonna go one more just to split it up, and I'm gonna go 3-0. Those are the results. We will have a look at the a look at what everybody says straight after this.
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Have you been naughty or nice?
How dare you break wind before me?
I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know it was your turn.
I'm loving it.
And I want to say thank you so much for Doug there for providing the sound effects. Cheers, Doug. Right, let's see what everybody has been saying in the chat. Where are we? So Doug went Manchester City 5, Everton 0. Shane went 3-0 to Man City. Nate went 2-0 to the Manx. Geordie said Newcastle 3, Leeds 1, unsurprisingly. Doug's gone 2-1 Newcastle. Shane's gone 2-0 Leeds. Nate's gone 3-1 Newcastle. Shane said he meant 2-0 Newcastle. Doug's gone Arsenal 2, Brighton 1. Shane's gone for a Desmond. And Geordie's gone for a win for Brighton. Villa for Shane over Tottenham. Another 2-2 there for Doug. Spurs to beat Villa 2-0 says Geordie. Chelsea, yes, go on, get in, Shane. I forgive you. Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Forest 1, Chelsea 1 says Geordie. Doug, I'm not even going to print that. I'm not going to even bring that one up, Doug, because I'm not. I refuse. That's worse than Steve's. It's worse than you. I think we spent all that time together over the World Cups. I thought we'd bonded. I thought we were brothers in arms. You know, we did all those watch-alongs together. We covered each other's channels. And then you come and stick the knife in the back. Bloody typical Scott, isn't it? You know, once it's over, that's it. Yeah. Well, honestly, you are now the Harry to my William. That's all I will say. Geordie says, Chris, I hope Leicester hammer Liverpool. That would help you out, wouldn't it? Nate is totally sensible and totally unbiased. Chelsea 4, Forest 0. He's gone Chelsea absolute shy. Hang on, what did I go for in that previous thing for Liverpool? Oh, and Villa to win. So to you, Doug. There we go. Guys, there we go. That's the predictions done. The next game after that, we're not going to be predicting the FA Cup, so we're just going to stick with the Premier League. I can't believe I'm actually now in my new diary for next year. Good God. We've got Forest on the 14th. I got quite excited about that, didn't I? There will be a prediction show on Monday, the 2nd of January. I think you're away, aren't you, Brad, still for that one?
Yes.
Yes. So again, I'll email them for you, or we can get somebody to come in for you. Don't know if you're free on that Monday, Steve. It's the 2nd of January.
Yeah, I'm free.
Brilliant. Because we actually play on the Tuesday, and it will be home to Fulham. And then we've got an away. Do you know what? With all the World Cup going, I didn't even know until somebody told me that we'd drawn Gillingham away in the FA Cup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was between them and Dagenham and Redbridge, weren't it?
That was like, whoa. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure.
It has. Certainly has.
And I thank you all so very much. Steve, always a pleasure, as you know. And yet, Foxy7, make sure you guys keep a lookout for that. If you've got any artwork or anything, you can send me over on Facebook. I can do some graphics or something and get them ready. And I think, are you looking, is it sort of January, February time to launch it?
Yeah, end of January, hopefully.
Brilliant. Keep a lookout. And we'll keep mentioning it until then anyway. So do not worry at all. Steve, have a great Christmas, mate. Don't do anything I won't enjoy. We'll see you in 2023.
Yes, have a good one.
Take care, everybody. Thanks a lot for coming on. Bye-bye. Now, I know you were watching your carbon footprint, Brad, so you wouldn't even think about just, getting a flight down from Manchester to Newcastle when, you can take the train or the coach, but you are flying tomorrow.
Yes.
And if I am William, you are, and Doug is Harry, then obviously you've got to be Meghan. Not worried about your carbon footprint. But look, have a safe flight. Your details are in the chat below. They always are because you're a moderator on the channel. But just remind people where they can find you.
Yeah, well, if they're in St Ives in Cornwall, they'll find me there. But on the socials, you'll find me at Twitter at Full-Time Focus. I've just attempted hosting my first football quiz that I just did before I came on here. So go and check that out. It's on YouTube. It's Top 10 Battles. You'll find the link on my Twitter page. It's the best way to find easy access to it. So, yeah, thanks for having me on. It's good to return back to this channel to get back to predicting ways.
Belgium. Yes, it is.
Yeah, you have to, don't you? You couldn't let it slide, could you? You couldn't just leave Belgium out of it.
Oh no! I couldn't. And if I had £1 for every time Doug mentioned it during the predictions as well.
Oh God, don't I know it? Don't I know it? Right.
I could have gone for a Wetherspoons.
Don't worry, I've got this problem to solve the Southgate issue. 2024, England, they're not getting out the group stages. Yeah, they're definitely not winning it. Yeah.
Well, one thing you can be sure of: Scotland won't be there.
Well, that's one thing. They can take the bins out with the Welsh and Irish.
Yeah. Hopefully, you won't feel too fishy with the girls. There's a time and a place, Doug. There's a time and a place, and this is not it. No, mate, have a great Christmas. Have a safe flight down. We'll sort something out for predictions, but do have a great time with your family. I know you love it down there. It's a lovely part of the world. Stay safe. And I hope your plane doesn't get hijacked. God, I'm going to feel bad now if it does, don't I?
Cheers, buddy. I hope nothing goes wrong with it.
You might get a dyslexic Libyan or somebody coming on thinking you're going to Santa Barbara or somewhere. You know?
Oh God, yeah. I double checked. Thankfully, I'm not flying with Ryanair, so it's going to hopefully land at my destination and not near it. But thanks for that, mate. And I hope you and your family and everybody that's joining in the chat has a lovely Christmas and New Year. And if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button to the channel. Chris does great work here. So yeah, keep it up, mate. And I will no doubt talk to you over the holidays.
I will. You will indeed. You don't get rid of me like that. Take care, mate. Safe journeys, safe travels, and have an absolutely fantastic Christmas.
Cheers, mate.
All the best. Now go and get that packing done. Thanks a lot. Safe journey, like I say to Brad. 67% of you want me to do a watch along on Boxing Day. You better bloody be there. You better be there, because if I come on and do it on Boxing Day and I'm sat here with nobody watching, I'll feel like Mr. Bean, Billy No Mates. Will Santa be bringing me a Jamie Vardy kids book, please? Do you really? And Forest of the Fly on that shite. Nate, love it, mate. Love it. See you tomorrow night, Chris. Don't forget. Yes. No, is it? Hang on. Now. No. Oh, not tomorrow. It's Wednesday night. Because we've got a match tomorrow, Geordie. Where are we? Look, you see, I'm going to start and try and bring my calendar neatly. 7 p.m. on Wednesday, I think, is when we're doing it. Yeah, because at 7:45 we've got a Caribou Cup game. Hopefully you won't. We've done that one. Yeah, thanks a lot, Nate. Take care. Forest 0, Chelsea 0. Let's be honest, Chelsea are shite. I was only joking, Chris. Too late, mate. The hurt is there. You can't be an Indian giver and say it and then take it back. Love you, talk. Thank you. It does this. This went round Winter Wonderland with me. Come and hug a hoodie. That's what we should be doing. But thank you, sir. Thank you. It's not much that fits me, but this does. So Geordie, you are Pete, I take it then. I am doing a watch along tomorrow, Terry. Yes. I'm confused, Geordie. Message me afterwards. Message me on Twitter and we'll have a chat, because I'm getting really, really confused. I am back. We've got a few things coming up this week. On tomorrow at 7:15, I think it is, we will be doing the watch along for the Caribou Cup third round, quarterfinal, whatever round it is in the Caribou Cup. MK Dons versus Leicester City. If we can get a link, but that will be a watch along tomorrow for MK Dons Leicester. Geordie, am I doing it Wednesday at 7? I don't know. 9 o'clock on Wednesday, though, we've got the big fat Christmas quiz. We've got Reese, we've got Doug, and we've got Ant. Nothing to do with football. We've had so much football. And I just thought we'd do something different. We're going to get silly hats, Christmas tops. We're going to have a few beers, bad dad jokes, and just have a laugh. Just have a laugh. And we've had too much football just recently. But then on Thursday, we're back with the last show before Christmas. It's a Newcastle preview, and I'm going to be joined by John Sinclair for that one at 9 for the match preview. So don't miss that. That's what's coming up this week. Then we are away for Christmas. And we've got the same, obviously, the Newcastle game, which I might well be doing now, the watch-along for. And Doug, are we doing a watch-along for Liverpool-Leicester? I'll speak to you about that because I've got an idea. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thanks for Steve, as always, for giving up his time. It's always nice when, an ex-player gives his time up. It really, really is. And, we will be seeing you tomorrow. Come on, Leicester. It's only Milton Keynes. We've said that a few times, haven't we? It's only... Yes. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for watching. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
Leicester Till I Die TV